Merry meet all. It's winter's Samhuinn, and thought I would do a unboxing. Well, not really. Well, it is an unboxing. I got it delivered today, a lot of it, and there's a few bits and pieces I've got from the past few months of this year. Oh my gosh, we're halfway through the year, and it feels like yesterday was January. Where does the time go? So anyway, I'm just going to go like this for now because I'm in serious need of, hang on, is this going to behave, this octopus stand? Probably not. Hang on, you going to stay there? Yeah? Hang on, 2 shakes, because the curse of long hair is sometimes it just decides to undo itself when you have it up at the most inconvenient times. Hang on. I guess get myself sorted. Okay. So I've got a lot of garn stuff I want to share. I've also got stuff I've bought, so acquisitions. Not necessarily garn acquisitions, though I do have some garn project acquisitions as well I want to share. Not much in that respect, but just a few bits. And I haven't tried out the few bits either, so let's just get stuck into it. Oh gosh, I just nearly destroyed my Loupe. Please don't tell me I destroyed my Loupe. No, I didn't destroy my Loupe. Okay, now let's divide this up a little bit. So there's a few books I wanted to get, and those of you who know me from previous channels, I don't do religion. I'm of the old ways. I did do the first year or degree of Wicca. It's a religion, which is why I didn't stay with it, but I wanted to know what it was about. Basically, it's a lot of ethnic European traditions made into a religion that anyone can join, from my perspective anyway. And instead of staying on with that, I went and did 3 years or 3 degrees of Cornelian witchcraft, which is basically old ways European, but also a bit modern because it's the Europeans that went to the Americas. So we're looking at Alapatcha. We're looking at the Irish and the Germans that went to the Americas, and it's a lot of what they practiced. So I did 3 years of that, so 4 years in witchcraft in degrees, like uni, but it's about correspondences, folklore, history, etymology, origins and things like that, elements, a lot of mundane aspects are incorporated in the wisecraft, because if you don't understand the mundane things and how they work, the interactions, etc., then the rest is going to mean jack to you. Anyway, enough of that. So I do have some books here which are Wicca based. Of course, I don't sort of abide by all of it, and I don't agree with all of it, but I can still appreciate the work that's been put into these things and take bits out that I like and tweak them to reflect my ethnos. And that's why I don't agree with just anyone being a witch or a German wise worker, because not everyone is ethnically that. However, there's magical traditions in most original cultures, and I think it's very important to honour who you are, not who you think you want to be, but who you are, because it's very sad. I didn't mean this to be a rant, but it's turning into this just a little bit. I think it's really sad as a wise worker that to see other old cultures disappearing because they think they take on the mantle of being a witch or a this or a that, and it's not even ethnically them, and in the meantime they are losing the connection to their old roots even more and more. And basically the origins of different races is based in nature and the connection to your origins and your blood is the magic. So as you can imagine, if you're going against your own grain, against your own biorhythm, your bioessence, biospirit, which is unique to different races, there's a different vibration, and it's meant to be like that. There's meant to be differences. We're not all meant to be the same, ethnically speaking or culture-wise, and there's nothing wrong with that. Stop trying to make everyone the same, because I get very suspicious of people that keep trying to push that, because to me it says they're scared of differences. And they're attacking of anyone that doesn't agree with them. It's kind of, they're attacking themselves, because what they're seeing is actually their own hypocrisy reflected in other people, and that's why they attack with such. I guess there's a lot of self-hate going on. It seems to be pushed. So it might not be something everyone wants to hear, but it is what it is. I'm probably one of the few witches out there that will say it as it is, like that, and it will mean I won't have a large following. Because people want to pretend and make believe and pick and choose, all this sort of stuff, and they don't really care about what actually it is to be or do, or what is the definitions, what is the boundaries that make things. They just want to, make believe and pretend this. People need, especially adults, need to grow up in that regards. But anyway, enough of the hot and heavy. This is meant to be a sharing of stuff, bought stuff, frivolous stuff, stuff to make me feel good. And I wonder if there's anything in here that you go, ooh. So welcome to my box of lovelies. So what should we start with? I won't start with the book stuff, because as you can tell, that's sort of not triggers, but there's a lot to a lot of these things. And unfortunately, there's some, I'm just sorting out as I chat. There's so much nonsense on the interweb on stuff. People just make it up, and they pander to those who don't want to be their authentic selves. They think they need to be someone else. They need to pretend they're black, or they need to pretend they're white, or it's just a really sad state of affairs. Anywho, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, I'll get to those books afterwards. But meanwhile, what have I got? Alrighty. Okay, as you obviously know from this channel, something I really love is my ducks. I am a bird lady through and through. From my ravens to my Maggies, and check out this Ducky D's. Everything is fine. I thought, yeah, this is one of these t-shirts I would wear on a day where everything is fine. It's not really, but it's just, I'm okay with everything not being fine. It's one of these t-shirts. Every now and again, probably once or twice a year, I like to buy a giant sized tee, a black tee, a Gothic tee of some sort. Staples in my closet are always oversized tees, men's tees, and flannel shirts. And they have been since I think I was 9 and started training in the gym. So anyway, so this is like as big as I could get it. I got a 5XL. I haven't put it on yet. Sometimes when I get the oversized, I will cut the length to crop it. So it's just wide, really wide and baggy, or sometimes I roll up the sleeves, or split the neck, and I usually add my own touch to it. But something like this, I'm just intending to throw that over a large-sized cotton flannel shirt. Okay, so I started watching Stranger Things. I don't agree or like Netflix, but anyway, I do like this show. And my favourite character is the cop. Is it Hopper? He's my favourite character. I think he's awesome. And there's this part where he's like, mornings are for coffee and contemplation, when one of his staff is trying to talk to him. And I'm like, yeah, that is so cool. That That is me, actually. I like morning is for coffee and contemplation, not complex conversations. So anyway, they have this mug which has got that statement on there, and it was only like $12. It was on sale from $25 down to $12. So I bought two, one for myself and one for a gift. When things are on sale like that, I do like to buy an extra so I can put it in my gift stash. So, you know, when an opportunity comes along and I need to get a gift for someone, I've already got it there and it's been bought on sale. So I have Hemlock in my apothecary, and I couldn't resist this bottle, and I'm so stoked. It's actually not a small bottle. It's a nice, decent sized bottle, as you can see, compared to the size of my hand. And it did come in a not a gift box, just a foam box, which I can, you know, put in the shed for packing for when I'm in transit the next time. But so this will be my new Hemlock tincture bottle. And you never have enough wooden spoons, but I thought these would be nice just for the apothecary. I mean, I wouldn't actually be using them when it comes to cooking utensils in the actual kitchen. I tend to gravitate towards bamboo, and I do seal them with coconut oil, extra virgin coconut oil, in the same way that I do with my cast iron pots, etc. So anyway, it doesn't say what it's made of. So it's usually ash wood, these sorts of things. But I think these will be perfect in my actual apothecary, or in the kitchen, but as display and not for use. Mind you could use them. I can't see anything why you wouldn't use them. I'll add links to where I got these things from, by the way. Now, I was pretty disappointed with how these are supposed to be Trivets, so that you're supposed to be able to put your things on there, but I can just tell now with how this is put together that is just going to fall apart big time. But there is a hanging catch on there, so I think it would just make a nice ornament to hang, or to use as a trivet, but not for hot things, because like I said, I just don't think that will hold. I bought two because, again, these things were on sale, by the way, temporarily on sale. So I bought two because I was thinking of having one in the kitchen and one in the apothecary, because I obviously do things in both, cooking wise. Now this is, I'm pretty stoked with this. I was hoping it wasn't going to be too crappy or small. This does feel and look like bamboo. It's a chopping board, and it's been stenciled. I probably wouldn't use the embossed side, I'd use the other side, but I would hang it with the writing or the stencil on the front. So that is another chopping board. I currently have a round pizza chopping board and a Yule tree chopping board, and I needed something longer with a paddle that was a bit more convenient. Now I have index cards in my office here, in my crafting desk, and I was going to get another clear acrylic one for the kitchen, but I saw this box and I thought it would be perfect for the kitchen. So this obviously comes in the same sort of set as the chopping board, and these things are actually from the UK. Okay, I'll give you the address. Actually, no, I'll write the address down in the description of the vlog. So this is actually a card index box. One of the things I really love about it, so these are the dividers, and they're wooden dividers. That is just so much cooler, sturdier than, you know, with what you usually use with the plastic or card. So now, I don't know about the actual titles. For me, it's savoury, sweet, and then staple and spells. I tend to keep my spell cards in my apothecary. Reason being is I would need 15 of those boxes to hold the spell cards I already have. So, you know, it's not really going to cut the mustard. So I'd probably turn this one into beverages. But, you know, I think it's pretty cool. I pretty like the dividers in this. Very much so. So let's put that. So, my raven. So there was tea towel and some signs in this series. But I just, you know, I wanted the practicality or function of having another chopping board, an actual index box for the kitchen, and not acrylic. And I wanted to have a couple of spoons for the apothecary, also a trivet for the apothecary, and what I'll most likely will do, I thought this would be good enough to use as trivets, but like I said, they're just too weak. They're too thin. I could just see that falling apart so quick. I would probably hang one in the kitchen and have one in the apothecary as a trivet, because it's not going to matter too much most of the time. In the apothecary, I'm not really cooking anything. I don't have a Bunsen burner in the apothecary, but it's something I do want to get at some point, especially with the horticultural stuff. Where am I up to? Oh yeah, and so then of course the hemlock. So I just wanted to have a special container for my hemlock tincture. So there's that. Now check out my enamel mug. What is it about enamel mugs? I love enamel mugs. It's all bees. Last weekend I don't know what happened, but I just kept having all these bees in my kitchen, and there was no way they could get in there. It's like they came out of the woodwork, so to speak. No vents or anything like that. So I thought I got them all out. However, one died. I obviously missed one, and it had died on my, and it looked like this one but with black wings and little yellow on the actual antlers. So, but it had died on the windowsill, so obviously I missed that one. And I've put him inside a little tube so I can keep him or keep her. One of the guys at school or on campus, he likes bees. He knows a little bit about native bees. He's just a young kid. He's a sweetie. I'm going to bring it to class and see if he can ID it for me. And I do have. I've got a 10 and a 30 magnified Loupe coming. This one here I got is actually by 30 Loupe, and this is actually from Germany. Now I like this one because you literally just sit it on top of what you're looking at, and you know, so I'm liking this one. The problem with Loupes, if you get them too strong, it can be hard to focus on what you're looking at. I mean, it's not the same exactly as using a microscope, is it, where you can adjust your focus quite finely. And of course, the stronger you're looking through, the more sensitive it is, a dial, when you're adjusting. You need to be able to adjust accordingly. So, anywho's, I'm using this Loupe in plant ID. So when I'm looking at leaves, the flowers, the fruit, the chlorella, the ovary and that sort of thing of fruit of the actual plant. So it's going to help me with my plant ID instead of using my naked eye. And I can't always get into the lab where the microscope is, so that's why I've got this. But I am waiting on a couple of more, well, one Loupe, which is dual. So one side I believe is by 10 and the other side is by 20, and then I've got this one here that's 30, so that covers all my bases. What else? Oh, I saw this key ring and I just couldn't resist. I'm just going to take it out plastic. It is so dang cold. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how cold it is. Now, I don't know if it's as sturdy as I thought, because that's the back. I'm like, you could have put something on the back. I most likely am just going to, I don't know, paint the back or something. Like, you know, come on. Anyway, but that's one side. So that is Ophelia, the toad. And she's a keychain with little flowers on the bottom. There was a mushroom one, but it sold out. It will come back in stock and I'll just get it again. But I think it's pretty crappy how it's just like, you know, blank on the back. I mean, how hard would it have been to just made it double-sided, you know? Or is that just me being picky? I don't know. Or what I could do is when I get the mushroom one, I can just attach the mushroom wrong side, facing the wrong side of Ophelia the toad. So on one side there will be Ophelia the toad, and the other side there will be the magic mushroom. We'll see. But anyway, so that's a new keyring to add to my keyrings edition. This is one of my ornaments I made for Samhuinn quite a few years ago, and it's, you know, just been part of my keychain now. So Ophelia, my dear, you are now with your crew of keys. There we go. What next? Oh yeah, and I can't wait to use my mug. And I've got the spare one there for a present or gift. And then I've got my bee mug. There was a cactus one I like as well, but that will keep for another time. I like the label, it has got bees on there. Again, I will add links to where these companies are, or who they are, where I got them from. And nearly there, nearly at the books, I got these cookie cutters, and these are from Killstar. One of the cool things about cookie cutters, as you know, you can also make ornaments. You can do salt dough ornaments. I've got some clay, so you can do clay ornaments too. But I really want to make some rose and sunflower cookies this weekend. So I got them just in time. So this one is in the shape of a spell book. This one is in the shape of crystals, and this one is in the shape of a scrying ball, and it says eat me or an orb. So they're my cookie cutters. I do like my cookie cutters. I've got quite a collection of cookie cutters. How are we going? Now I usually make my own candles at Emok once a year, but sometimes I just run out of time, resources, or even can't get the materials, and I'm left having to just buy bell candles. Why do we use bell candles? Because as you can imagine, if you're burning a full candle, I mean, that's one hell of a long spell. When you use just something like a bell candle, it's burns out within the hour, depending on the size of it, or even less. So I mean, these are commercial, then, you know, they're not like Fandango or anything like that, and they're a bit gimmicky, but they will suit the purpose. They're solid color all the way through. They're not color on the outside. So when it comes to doing spell work or ritual, and you're using candles, color association is actually dependent on your ethnos. Often what is corresponding within Asian tradition, old traditions, is completely opposite to the West, and that is normal. It's meant to be like that. If there's no difference between the West and the East, you have nothing. Yeah? If everything's the same and nothing matters, does it? Like there's no differentiation, there's no diversity, there's no nuance or differences. That's pretty awful. I'm just not enjoying the world that they seem hell-bent to be creating, where there's no such thing as differences. Like there's a major difference between being nasty to people who are different and acknowledging differences, and, you know, judging people by their character, not the differences. I mean, you know, they're making this, it's like they're trying to push that if you acknowledge any differences, there's something wrong with you, which is ridiculous. It's how nature has made us. Like, I firmly believe that nature she's mother to us, or she's created these differences so no one thing just can come in and control everything. Yeah? And it's what creates beauty, is that all those different nuances from different cultures, races, to plants and animal. We are part of the animal kingdom. Like, you know, could you imagine just everything being the same? Like, I'm not saying that, you know, there should be commonality within a country's culture. I'm talking about globally here. We're meant to have different countries and cultures, and, you know, I remember the days where I used to look forward to travelling, and now it's like they're destroying everything. There's no longer these beautiful nuances, and I don't know, I digress. I've digressed again. So anyway, horticulture purchase. Should I do that? Yeah, I will. And I'm just going to blitz through the books because I'll do a bit of a flip through properly on the Wic channel, the crafting channel. But these are my pens I'm going to use for. I'm trying these pens out. So there's a paint pen in there, and so I need to get some architect paper, grid paper, and I've got some scales that are coming in, and I'm trying to remember what this name is. It's not even on the actual box. Is it Sakura? Let me just... You'd think it'd be all over the box somewhere. Yeah, Sakura. So they're made in Japan. They're different colours. Oh, and I've also got black, but there's also a paint pen in there, and there's different sizes. So when I actually get my graph pad for landscape design and the scale stencils, and I'll try these out, I'll do a bit more of a review of that at that time. So book wise, I actually got a deck. I will do a proper flip through on the other channel. I'll add a link to that. It won't be up straight away, but it will be going there. And then I got a journal. So this is more of a journal of spells. So you're just recording your spells in there. They're blanks with a bit of basic info at the beginning. Can't have enough journals. I want to get some more because there's I'm going to run out of time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up the rest of the books and some crafting acquisitions, yarn craft acquisitions, and some of my yarn projects on the next post, and just post them tonight. Yeah, I'll do that. Blessed be Mary Part. It's just that this vlog is going to run out of time, and I'll see you on part 2 of my acquisitions and also what I'm up to in my yarn projects. Blessed be, and Mary Part.